All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Prosper Nutrition Show, where we want you to prosper and be in health. My name is Jason Steves. I am a clinical account specialist with Perk Integrative Health, and I am joined by Steve Steves, who is a certified clinical nutritionist and naturopath. And today we're going to be talking and answering the question that a lot of people seem to be asking lately. Do fish oil supplements really cause harm? There's an article that came out recently that is claiming that the fish oil supplements may cause harm. So we're going to be talking about that today. What does that article mean? And what is the truth about fish oil supplements and what they do for our body? All right, so folks, just remember every Friday, Central Standard Time, we're coming to you live at 1:30. So stay tuned every single Friday. If you have questions, we'd love to answer them. We can answer them live on the show, or we can answer them via email, however you want to answer them. We can answer them retroactively as well. So like if you guys have questions and aren't able to get on live, you can send us questions via email or just type them into the comment section. So please do that. We want to interact with you and give you guys the value that you deserve, which is truthful information. Steve, you were just saying that you were praying that we are able to get information from media sources that is truthful, that is something that we can trust. And that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be a truthful source of information for your health and nutrition. And so that's our goal here. But yeah, Steve, this is a difficult topic. You came across this article recently, and you wanted to kind of touch on this. Tell me what kind of inspired this topic for you.
Well, we had a client that had read the research report, and it's out on different networks, networks that kind of want to debunk health and nutrition and let people rely more on pharmaceuticals rather than God's creation. And so we're going to talk about this study as to why they're saying that fish oil supplements may raise the risk of stroke, heart issues, study suggests. So let's find out why this study says it does.
Yes. Well, let me touch base here with you guys. So make sure you stay tuned till the end. We do have a coupon code that we're going to offer to you in regard to what we're talking about today. So stay tuned till the end. We'll provide the coupon code. But also stay tuned for this information. This could affect whatever health issue that you're dealing with. Fish oil is something that we use a lot with clients for a lot of different health issues. So stick around and listen to this information because it could be useful for whatever health issue that you're dealing with. So sorry, Steve, go ahead.
That's all right. There's a lot to talk about here, and I think we'll continue with more fish oil education as to why we take so much fish oil and its benefits. But first of all, we're going to debunk this study of 415,000 subjects, ages 40 to 69. The 12-year study went from 2010 to 2022. Now, they called these people healthy subjects. And I don't know how they picked them. They don't give you their parameters for good health. But folks, if you're really honest and look around, 3/4 of Americans today are overweight. That means they're unhealthy. That means they're in dyslipidemia. That means they're pre-diabetic by a very short period of time. They are pre-heart disease. They are pre a lot of things. And they're probably seeing high levels of triglycerides, out of balance cholesterol and hormone production. So the first thing that debunks this study is these people were not healthy. There's no way you could call them healthy unless they said, well, I think I'm pretty healthy. I go to my doctor every year, but I'm only on 2 or 3 medications. And the average American is on multiple medications. Healthy people don't take medications. That would be my wife, my son, my daughters, and my grandchildren. We know there is no need for a synthetic chemical compound that alters my chemistry. And that's a lot of what's involved in this study. So you need to do an omega-3 test, number one, to find out what your blood levels are. We do facilitate that at the Nutrition and Health Center to know how safe am I, because this is the JAMA study over 3 generations since 1948 that looked at all forms of stroke and heart attack and said, all right, here's the number one factor that is congruent to everything involved in these subjects, and that is the presence of omega-3 fatty acids in their bloodstream. Now, how you get those is your choice. Many people do eat good, healthy fish diets. I say many. That term was just misused. There are not very many people that consume a lot of fish. I'm one that does, but I also take fish oil supplements so that I can have a high omega-3 in my bloodstream and lower my risk to stroke and heart attack. But where are they coming up with this risk? Why do we suppose that people are seeing an increased risk over this period of time? Now, look at the time period, 2010 to 2022. What happened during that period of time? COVID happened during that period of time. How many people got vaccinated during COVID? Close to 3/4 of all Americans did. Worldwide, I haven't got the research on that, but a lot of people got duped into believing that a vaccine was your answer for COVID virus. Well, let's look at some of the ingredients in the COVID vaccine, or let's look at a study. Let me read this on specifically on a COVID association. Atrial fibrillation. This is the fibrillation that is what they're talking about in this study that was caused by the fish oil, okay? So after people were vaccinated for COVID-19, the reports of AFib are staggering. We're talking about an increase with the use of Moderna, 1,319 subjects reported in one study with that took the vaccine. Over 50% of them got an increase in AFib. The Pfizer vaccine, 54.88% of these subjects that took the Pfizer vaccine received AFib reactions. A new onset of AFib, and these are all atrial fib, new atrial fib, some numbers as high as 60% increase in AFib on those that were vaccinated. So this study was done during the time of COVID, and the majority of people who were in the study would have been vaccinated. That's a given. So we could stop discussing this at this point, but I want to show you how important it is to look behind a study on all the things that are involved. Let's also consider how many of these people drink caffeinated beverages, and do they drink too much caffeinated beverages? And there's a study on caffeinated beverages and their excess on the increase of AFib. So we have to be careful on our caffeine intake because we're overstimulating our central nervous system, which overdrives the heart and increases that irregular heartbeat and AFib. There's also a study I have on mercury overexposure, and there are preservatives in many vaccines, not just COVID vaccines, that have aluminum, mercury. These are preservatives that do have studies that show they increase the risk of AFib. But the bottom line of what I wanted to get to, the number one cause of why people get AFib is they're buying the commercial poor quality supplements that aren't properly extracted. Extracting fish oil is a very delicate process. And if it isn't done right, you get an increase of lipid peroxides within the supplement. So people will tell us, well, I don't want to take fish oil because it upsets my stomach. I get gas, I belch, and I bloat. And well, it's because of peroxides that are in that poor quality supplement. It does not happen with our product. Well, Pure Omega, the Omega Pure, uh, Pure Omega 3. I love that product. I take 6 capsules a day. High omega 3 levels, great blood pressure, great cholesterol numbers, ideal triglycerides. I'm able to do a lot of functional things that most 65-year-old men can't do.
Have
But
you, Steve, have you noticed either yourself or clients who've made the switch in fish oils, any improvement, like marked improvements that you've noticed?
yes, definitely. So the belching and all the complaints just go away.
Okay.
They're able to consume the fish oil with
Any
some,
body composition or blood work numbers that you've noticed?
just about every parameter that is associated with fatty acids of omega 3s. It's weight loss, it's improved blood pressure, it's improved fat to muscle ratio, it's improved energy levels. Just
Yeah.
because it
I
was
remember you made the switch not too long ago, maybe 3 years ago or something. I don't know how long ago it was exactly, but do you remember when you made that switch and what you
oh
noticed?
yes, I was using another company's product
Yeah.
which wasn't as superior to ours. They had good manufacturing principles, but they didn't, their level of peroxides was a little bit higher. Um, I think ours is virtually non-existent in the
Yeah.
HPLC testing that's done on the end product that people consume. Even the capsules, people are using gelatin capsules that have a poor quality. Well, it comes from an animal, horse hooves, versus the vegetarian pure gelatin capsule or glycerin. So the quality it's worth its weight in gold. It's like if I wanted to drive on a long trip, which we're about to go on, I would feel much safer driving in an automobile that was a valuable automobile that had a good reputation of not breaking down, which we've had good experience in the Toyota brand, for example. They have a good reputation of longevity without falling apart. And so I switched from some General Motors products to that many years ago. And that's what people need to do. If they really want to see healthier bodies, they need to switch to Prosper Nutrition brand supplements, especially the fish oil. If they want to see cellular health change, because all of the membranes in your body, they're coated in fatty acids that are directly accumulating those fatty acids from fish oil. And I encourage you to do the cell energy with it. So when we offer that special today, Jason, the heart health bundle really is the best one because it's got the magnesium, it's got the cell energy, it's got the fish oil in it. Those are the three that work the best to change the condition of the blood and lower the risk of heart disease. And I really encourage that. And so I want
One
you
of the things I do remember is it was about 3 years ago that you weren't well for an extended period. And it was around that time, I think, you made that switch.
Yeah, I didn't finish answering your questions about that.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that flexibility, mobility, balance, I feel more balanced, just stronger. Even in the way that I stand and walk, I feel more erect. Where I used to feel, as you get older, you don't feel as balanced. I just have felt so well balanced. And it's a process the body's always trying to do. It's called homeostasis. And the physiology and the pharmacology of our bodies, or the biochemistry of our bodies, depends on everything we eat and do every day. How much water we're consuming, the foods that we're eating. Of course, I'm doing regular lymphocyte response assays to determine what my body is tolerant to and intolerant to, food and chemical wise, just had an unusual report on that come back where a female was the Nutrition Natalie Avatar, our group of the middle-aged female. This has, children that are approaching teenage years. They're the ones that are seeing the hormones drop out and the adrenal function diminished. And you just see a lot of autoimmune issues with that, inflammatory issues throughout the body, joint inflammation, cycling information, the premenstrual syndrome in women that's makes them feel miserable. And then, of course, their hormones start to deplete at that time. Their hormone receptors that depend on fish oil are suffering. And once you get that corrected, they just feel that balance to come back into play. And this lady was in recently and experienced that as well.
That's great. So fish oil, obviously, in the way, if it's an issue that may cause harm, it's probably because the quality of the fish oil and the individual that's taking it, they may already have other factors, comorbidities, other things, other disease issues that they're dealing with. So what we found, and I think what you're saying is that we found people only are improving their health when they're taking the right fish oils and in the right amounts. And that's the next question, I guess. It would be great to hear from you, Steve, is how does someone go about, like, what if someone's just starting to take fish oil for the first time, they don't have a nutritionist? How would you say would be an easy, safe way to start taking fish oil?
Well, start off with meals. I would always take it with meals. It does mix well with food. And because it's one of the food components, a fatty acid, a fat, you've got proteins and carbs as well that are part of the meal. So one with each meal of our Pure Omega is a good starting point. And for most people, that'll take your omega blood levels above 5.5%, maybe around 6%. Now, I like them above 10%. It takes that stroke and heart disease risk completely out of play. They did a study, all these studies, the Framingham study and what JAMA finally put into writing in 1996 about omega-3s. They looked at different tribes of people, different cultures, and the tribal Indians that live in the Northern Territories that eat only fish and, they eat whale blubber, and they don't eat fruits and vegetables hardly at all because there's always frozen tundra like 8-9 months of the year. So they're limited on their fruits and vegetables, and they consume all this fatty fish and fat from other animals, and they don't get any heart disease. That had to be thrown out of the study when they were originally trying to say, oh, it's cholesterol. Yeah. Well, some of these people have a lot of cholesterol in their blood, and they don't have heart disease. Why is that? And so part of the answer there is that as we age too, cholesterol, your body produces it. If you don't eat it, it'll make it. It's needed to make hormones. You look at just pull up a cholesterol hormone pathway chart. You can get it online anywhere, and you'll see all the hormones that are produced from cholesterol. You make cortisol, you make testosterone, progesterone, estradiol, you make cortisone, you make pregnenolone, you also make cortisol and aldosterone that controls fluid, all from cholesterol. So when the body's cell membranes, lacking fatty acids, lacking the omega-3s from fish oil, don't have enough fatty acids, then they become resistant. You've probably heard insulin resistant, where diabetes sets in, why we have so much diabetes today, lack of fatty acids, too many carbohydrates, imbalanced eating. The cell membranes then start taking up hormones, insulin and pregnenolone and testosterone, start signaling better, and you feel more life and energy. But this cholesterol production increase is not something to be throwing a drug at with a statin, so popular now. Well, you have high cholesterol. You're going to have a stroke or heart attack. You better take this cholesterol lowering drug. Absolutely the worst thing you can do.
Mhm.
You increase your risk of stroke with statin drugs. It's a known study done on that. So just don't mess with drugs. Trust God and go natural, but do it in wisdom. If you're on a lot of medications, you need a practitioner to walk you through the process. Someone that's a naturopath that knows what's safe if you're in a weaning process to go natural. But you have to make that choice. It's your body. And you, like me, I was addicted to drugs. When I was in the doctor field and they were telling me this is a disease you have, we'll manage it with these treatments and these medications. And I said, I don't like this. This isn't working for me. And when God led me down the right path to be free now, 40 years later, of this infirmity, affliction, disease that was told it would put me in a wheelchair, it is an exciting life to be lived. And I look forward to hearing more testimonies from y'all out there.
Right.
That implication or that application of fish oil, especially when you're dealing with any kind of inflammation, as its natural block for pro-inflammatory hormones. It's remarkable, the miracles that it does in the body.
There's a lot of applications for sure. And, just about every health issue that we face here in the office could probably benefit from better quality fish oil as far as supplements, and then taking more fish oil in general. Now, Steve did mention, starting out with 1 per meal. So it's about 3 a day. The Pure Omega-3, that'll last you at least 30 days, if not more. Got a great quality fish oil supplement at a good price. And then if you use the coupon code that we're going to provide you here in just a minute, you'll get 10% off your initial order. And you can start feeling the difference. One of the things that we've done in the past is we've helped people walk through detoxification. They're like programs, but essentially we're providing a higher amount of nutrients that support detoxification in the body and help them get on a more restrictive diet for a period of time that helps their body to go through that detoxification process a little bit more intensely than maybe it would if you were just taking a few things here or there. So we've done that before. And one of the things we've noticed is if people are experiencing like symptoms of detox, because sometimes when you're getting toxins out of your body, it doesn't feel too great. You might be feeling off, headache, nausea, fever, different things can come up. Well, we have found success if people take up their fish oil supplementation a little bit. So maybe 2 more a day than they were taking for the detox plan, or, gradually increase that. It's really, from what we found, and, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, you're not going to be able to really take too much fish oil. What the challenge with fish oil comes in is your blood thinning too much if you are doing some sort of thing where you're getting surgery done or you're getting, anything like that. That's really where the issue comes in, is if you get, you're being cut open for whatever reason, your body is going to bleed a lot more easily when you have a high amount of fish oil in your body. So Steve, would you mind sharing a comment on that about that?
All a person has to do, Jason, is measure their platelet levels. And I have really healthy platelet levels, so I can take 6 fish oil a day. And platelets are controlled by various different nutrients in the diet, your vitamin K and your calcium, magnesium balance. So it's about the synergistic biochemistry. Think about this. Jesus ate and fed people fish for breakfast, recorded in the scriptures, probably for lunch. Midday, they had the thousands of people gather and they replicated fish. And they probably had some evening sessions with fish as well. Well, Capernaum, where Jesus did 90% of his ministry, and the Gospels are recorded there, that's on the Sea of Galilee. Well, they call it a sea. It's just a gigantic fresh water lake. It's not a salt lake. It's spring fed from the mountains that are north of there, and it's just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And that water is so pure. We drank the water coming out of the earth north there in the mountains, just bubbling out of the ground and sipping it. So it's very alive with fish, obviously. And so these fish, they're eating 3 times a day, would probably be equivalent to taking about 9 or more fish oil capsules a day. And I'm sure they had no issues with external bleeding, but they were balanced. They ate healthy. They didn't have processed food. They didn't have synthetic chemicals in their water supply. They weren't showering in chlorinated water. We have a toxic world, folks. We need to detoxify. We need to protect our heart with heart nutrients, heart healthy nutrients. We need to support our stress response with adaptogen herbs like in our stress remedies. We need digestive support because our digestive system is taking big hits with chemicals and foods, even when we're breathing it in. So that's why we do what we do and simply do what we do. Our bundles, we have only 6 bundles, and they cover the major systems of the body and will help you in one form or another, regardless of what bundle you select. Well, do I need the digestive bundle or the heart bundle? Well, you can't go wrong with either one because they support those systems, and all systems when all systems are a go and they're tied into each other, one part of the body affects all other parts of the body, the nervous system affecting the heart. The other thing we didn't talk about, Jason, on the AFib scenario for this healthy group of people that were taking fish oil products off the shelf somewhere, was their level of stress, the amount of social media they're involved with. This more factors than we can even discuss in this video time, but
Right.
I sure enjoyed this discussion, and I'm sure we'll around this direction some more.
Yes. So, folks, we've got a lot of information to share. This is a big topic, but fish oils are really important. And kind of to circle back to what I was mentioning, if you're experiencing symptoms related to your body getting healthier and detoxifying, a lot of times this is referred to as a healing crisis. That's sometimes a phrase that's used, but your body's getting healthier, it's getting rid of toxins, and you start feeling junky. You can take a little more fish oil. It can help you feel better. Drink more water. That'll help a lot. Exercise, light, easy exercise to get the blood flowing. That'll help a lot. And
Deep abdominal breathing, relaxation breathing.
Yes. So there's things that you can do to help yourself feel better, but any sort of health issue that is related to the cells of your body, which is just about every health issue, is gonna benefit from taking fish oil supplements. And if you've been taking fish oil supplements, make the switch to a better formula. Pure Omega 3 has EPA and DHA in a balance, and that's what you want. You want a balance of EPA and DHA. And then you also want to make sure that that fish oil supplement is being processed correctly so that the oils aren't oxidizing and becoming rancid and becoming toxic to your body. Because that's really where the issue is with fish oil supplementation being harmful, is when you're taking fish oils that are oxidized and that are essentially waste that you're putting in your body. That's what we want you to avoid. And what we've done with Pure Omega 3 is we've created a fish oil supplement that is developed, it's purified under nitrogen. That's really the key, because when you take the oils out of the fish and you purify them with the process of distillation, you want to make sure that that's done under nitrogen so that those oils are protected when you're going through that process. And so we do that all under nitrogen. It avoids that oxidation process, and the fish oils stay healthy and clean and ready for your body to take the nutrients in and create new, better cells, neurotransmitters, tissues, cholesterol, all this good stuff that our body needs.
Good word, Jason. There was one testimony I always like to share. it's a pretty old testimony. We recorded it in our book that we wrote in 2010. So it happened before 2010. I believe it was about 2008. One of our clients, his name, he has let us share, it was in the book, Bobby Wilson. He had a lot of inflammation in his left knee. He's a professional golfer, but he's a long drive golfer. So they get in these competitions where they just swing hard and watch that ball fly 400 yards or whatever. I've seen him hit it over 400 yards.
Wow.
But he had a lot of left knee pain. In fact, he rated it as a 11 on a scale of 1 to 10. I said, well, we've been trying all these herbs like turmeric and some of the others, and they all have great benefits, but they weren't getting down the pain in his body enough. At the time, we weren't doing omega testing like we can do now to find out where the levels are in the arachidonic acid to see the pro-inflammatory markers. So I said, you know, we've got omega-3. Let's up our fish oil and see what happens. Let's see if we can get an anti-inflammatory effect to give you some benefits. Well, he needed to get into a competition that was happening in November in Mesquite, Nevada. And that year, at 53 years of age, he qualified for the super seniors. He was 53. That was the age and above. He qualified for the seniors, 45 years of age and above. And he qualified in the junior event. And he won the seniors and super seniors event. No one has ever won 2 events in the history of the sport, and no one has ever qualified for all 3 events in the history of the sport. He's now in the Guinness Book of World Records for his intake of fish oil. So maybe you have destiny to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for something. Maybe fish oil will help you find it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I enjoyed sharing this.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, this was great. And thank you for staying tuned. If you're still watching, we're going to give you the coupon code now. It's going to be 10% off all the bundles that have the Pure Omega-3 and the Pure Omega-3 supplement itself. So there's 3 bundles. There's the heart health, there's the detoxification, and then I believe it's the, let's see here. Is it the glucose? No. Is it detox and brain bundle? Yes.
Right. Don't forget.
So those 3 bundles have the Pure Omega-3. So those 3 bundles, the Pure Omega-3, you'll get 10% off when you use the coupon code 6/14/24-SHOW. So it's today's date, 6/14/24-SHOW. You type that into the coupon code box at checkout, you get 10% off your order. And if you guys have questions, concerns, get in touch with us. We are here available to help you. We will actually even talk to you over the phone. We've had some different challenges with our technologies lately and the support we've gotten. While we've been able to get solutions, a lot of times the support with some of these companies is slow, and sometimes they won't even get on the phone with you, but we will. We're here to help you. We've got Steve and I we're nutrition professionals. We've got nutrition professionals supporting you through Prosper Nutrition. If you have questions about your supplementation and even some health questions, if you want to discuss that as well, we'd be happy to help. We love educating and giving you the truth about these health topics. And the fish oil supplementation is a very important topic, and it's a misunderstood topic for a lot of people. So we hope this has been helpful. Steve, again, thank you. And if you guys have, anything that you need, get in touch with us. info@prospernutrition.com or type it into the comments. Hope you have a great day. Take care and prosper.